come across anything. I mean, they talk about, you know, the amount of food he started giving children and throughout, you know, their growth, but they don't recognize that. It's just that they have this generic thing that they put out, and you're supposed to just know somehow. I mean, what's interesting in a lot of the sources that I was looking at, they really don't talk about the mothers a lot. They blame them, but they don't really analyze what the mothers are actually doing, because by the time that they're looking at obesity, that whole trope of mother blaming is just part of conventional wisdom. And I have a research assistant who is helping me, and she got really involved in the obesity, and she keeps sending me things. And she sent me this one article that said that if you looked on Google now, that if you look at a descriptor for mother, the fourth most popular one is bad. And that's not true for a lot. You have to go down to below 10 descriptors before you get that for a father. So I think we still have it.
I have a question for here, and maybe this also, Michelle, you get a chance to ask questions. The first one, which was asking. In terms of the French English, it just struck me the one picture that was up there, the French young woman looked very sexy. And in terms of cookbooks, if you see, you know, what are the major differences you see between the way the women are portrayed, and even men, I don't know, in French versus English Canadian cookbooks?
Thanks for that question, Gail. The cookbooks that I looked at are actually two very specific cookbooks. 1915, put out by the Western Canada Flour Mills. That's a 1915 painting of that gorgeous French woman. Did I show you the corresponding Ontario one or Canadian or English one? It's a chubby little girl stirring a pot with both hands. Its background is brown, mud brown. She's wearing little mud brown Mary Janes. She's got a big fluffy hat on. It says, "You women in English Canada are childish, dowdy, busy, messy." It's not a pretty picture. I could not imagine the 1915 woman who would pick this up and say, "Oh, good, pick for a book for me." But the French version, it's exactly the same text translated, but the French version does show this chic, sexy, and I love the attitude that she's got the cookbook over here like, "Oh, I wonder what this is." It's a semi-lingerie apron that she's wearing. Those are the two most vivid examples I've seen. I haven't seen anything else quite as strong as that. I think apart from that, what I've seen of Quebec cookbooks pretty much echoes what I've seen in English Canadian ones.
Can I just make a quick comment about this question of French versus English? I read a lot of cookbooks by nuns who would tell about how important it is to please your husband's senses, food-wise. Obviously, Catholic nuns could not give any advice about it in the bedroom. But there was, I felt sometimes, an untold anxiety about infidelity that was there into all these food writings. So it was important to please the senses. They talk about food all the way, but there's obviously a relationship with the bedroom that is there in the pictures, but also in the text. And if your husband went to the tavern or to the restaurant instead of going home, well, the danger was that he's going to meet somebody else. It's just going to be bad for your life.
And it's going to waste money.
Sorry?
And it's going to waste money. He's going to spend valuable money that he should be bringing home and not spending in the tavern and buying food elsewhere and storing in the side of the room and like eat there.
Yeah, I'll just say briefly, you're right on both counts. A lot of the early Quebec cookbooks are indeed by nuns, and there is indeed that moral streak to it. There's a very clear distinction between the pleasures of the table and any others. And there was another one, but I'm getting old and I don't remember what the other one was. Yeah.
Perhaps we'll move to lunch and the other speakers.